What am I going to talk about today? As I've said many times before, the gift that keeps on giving. And that's none other than the one and only former mayor of New York, America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani. Now, what am I talking about today? I've said many times over this is a perfect case for bankruptcy law and procedure. We're done with the bankruptcy part. He voluntarily dismissed that. But now we're in the civil part, the collection part. Basically, a quick rundown. There was the defamation lawsuit. He lost that, owes $148 million, and now they're trying to collect. Collecting has not been easy. Discovery, which is what you go through when you try to find out, it doesn't matter what kind of case, it could be a criminal case, divorce case, etc. You have to provide certain documents, right? In this type of case, we're talking about financials. So when it comes to discovery, the judge even said this isn't a shell game. And that's exactly what has been going on. I have said many, many times before, if this was any other client, any other person, they would have been in jail a long time ago. But here's the problem. It was already reported once before that when they were supposed to get access to the New York condo, they got it late, and guess what? Everything magically disappeared. Everything was gone. Now apparently there is a signed jersey from the none other than Joe DiMaggio that's missing. Apparently he's looking into it himself. He's investigating this because he doesn't know where that went. So it's been one thing after another, not complying with discovery. He finally got held in contempt. Now, of course, contempt just means that there's a court order and it wasn't complied with. You'll have a hearing and the judge will decide, did you do this willfully on purpose? Or, there are other valid explanations. And again, that applies to all types of cases. In this case, ultimately, the judge decided that Giuliani has not been complying with discovery, going back to that shell game. And so now what's left is what is a judge going to do? Now, here's where it gets tricky. And again, I keep bringing up this case because it applies if whether you're a paralegal, a lawyer, or just studying this stuff, it's the same process for everyone else. The only difference is I think Giuliani's been given certain privileges that the average litigant would not get. Now, he's been found in contempt. The judge hasn't ruled yet on this issue. But there was supposed to be a hearing, and Giuliani's lawyers filed a motion saying he's got health issues. I think he's had several knee surgeries. He has a couple of he's had issues with his heart. A couple of stents are in there as well, and so they're saying traveling is not possible. Plus, they said there's the possibility of danger, physical danger, threats and stuff like that. So I get that. Obviously, if someone is sick, we should try to accommodate them in court, however possible. But what the judge did was basically call Giuliani's bluff and say, here's sign an affidavit confirming that you have not traveled 30 days before this order or 30 days after. Where was Giuliani seen now right after all this? He was seen at Mar-a-Lago at an event that was going there. So he's obviously getting out of the house. And the judge had even put that in the order saying traveling out of his residence. So he's going to have some problems. But here's the key. What do you do with Giuliani? Normally, you pay a fine. Say, okay, you know what? Open up your checkbook. This is how much you're going to have to pay. Now, he owes 148 million. Do you really think he can afford that? Obviously not. That's why the bankruptcy was filed. So then if you owe 148 million, what do you do next to make this person pay? Money isn't going to, you can add $1 to that or $100 million. He ain't going to pay because he doesn't have the money. Now, let's be clear. He keeps saying he's destitute. I think he said destitute or whatever word was used in court. The reality is he does have a $3.2 million condo in in Palm Beach. He does have a pension that's going to be protected, etc. So there's that whole issue, which I'm not even going to get into. But if money isn't going to stop these acts, what's left? Put them in jail. Now, let me go back to a little bankruptcy law and procedure here, and civil law procedure. The judgment, to be clear, he agreed that he committed defamatory acts. Put the brakes there because the media doesn't focus much on this issue. There was no trial. He waived the trial. Now, it could be for a million reasons. Probably didn't have the money to go forward or thought it was going to be really bad. So he thought if I just agree to defamation, maybe the judgment will come in something real low, 100 grand, pay it off, and we're done. Came in at 148 million. So he rolled the dice and he lost. So now we're stuck with how do we enforce all these issues of contempt and not complying with documents. And honestly, jail's the only thing left. Any of my clients would have been in jail a long time ago. I'm not afraid to admit that. The judge only has so much patience. But we're dealing with an 80-year-old man too, who has a history of health, and that can be proven easily. Whether he's gone to the doctor for heart conditions and everything else. So I hope there's no lies there, because that's perjury at this point. But if you can't give him a monetary fine, then what's left is only jail. The only question is the physical ability to be in jail for whatever, a day, a week, or 30 days. But under normal circumstances, I would tell you that's the next step. Are we going to see that in Giuliani's case? Time will tell. Stick around, and I'll definitely post a new follow-up video when the judge finally rules on the contempt issue. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, and even better rest of the week and year. Take care.